What's going on, everybody? It's 1:31 in the morning. I am tired as hell, but I wanted to get at least one or two more videos done before I go on my little vacation this week. Um, I saw this video yesterday, and I was just completely flabbergasted. So it's basically Trump at one of his first rallies since the coronavirus, and listen to what he has to say.
The left-wing anarchists tore down a statue of Thomas Jefferson. Now we're getting into the real stuff. They decapitated a statue of Christopher Columbus, except in New York when the Italians surrounded it. They didn't have too much of a chance. Those Italians, I love the Italians. They heard they were going to rip down their beautiful Christopher Columbus, and all of a sudden they circled that thing. They didn't do too well in hurting Christopher, did they? Thank you to our Italian population. We're very proud of you, right? 2 days ago, leftist radicals in Portland, Oregon, ripped down a statue of George Washington and wrapped it in an American flag and set the American flag on fire. Democrat, all Democrat. Everything I tell you is Democrat. And you know, we ought to do something, Mr. Senators. We have two great senators. We ought to come up with legislation that if you burn the American flag, you go to jail for 1 year. 1 year. Jim and James. Jim and James. We ought to do it. You know, they talk about freedom of speech, and I'm a big believer in freedom of speech, but that's desecration. That's a terrible thing they do. We used to have things, we don't have them anymore because we want to be so open, so everything, and look what happens. We should have legislation that if somebody wants to burn the American flag and stomp on it, but just burn it, they go to jail for 1 year, okay? Hello, everyone.
That was scary as hell. It's kind of hard to believe that Mr. Trump is from New York City. So let's break it down, okay? I love how these far right-wingers, they like to talk about liberty and small government and the Constitution, but they want it to be illegal to burn the U.S. flag. Okay, so that's against the First Amendment. It goes deep. It's deeply against the First Amendment. One, because when somebody burns a flag, don't get me wrong, you don't get a point across. I think if you burn a flag, hopefully you're either trolling or you're just trying to piss somebody off, because if your intention is to protest, I don't know, police brutality, for instance, if your idea is to burn the American flag, let me tell you something right now. People are just going to get pissed off with you. Anything you have to say at that point, they just won't care, because the symbolism of it means a lot to them, even though they have no idea what that symbol means. But they're just not going to listen to you. Now, with that being said, Donald Trump is literally a far right-wing authoritarian who believes in gun control. Okay, this man has no concept whatsoever about the Constitution or liberty or small government. You heard what he said? I'm a big believer in free speech. No, you're not. No, you're not. You don't believe in a free speech. You only care about speech that that goes with yours. So spare me with this whole I'm a big believer in free speech. You know, every time they say but, after they say that, most likely they're not. And look what we have here. Now, the Supreme Court has ruled in 1989, Texas versus Johnson, and along with other Supreme Court cases that you can't do that. That's obviously free speech. And the reason why this free speech is protected is because this isn't a speech that is hurting anybody. The only thing it's hurting is your feelings. Like, and if that's the case, who cares? The free speech protects speech that pisses people off, because how else are you going to be able to dissent? You know, there's this famous quote from one of the founders. I can't think of it right now, but they said dissent is the highest form of patriotism. And these people aren't patriots. They want to lock you up for burning some cloth, some Chinese-made cloth. How are you free speech for that? They just love talking about American values and liberty. I mean, if you can't even protect the First Amendment, how the hell are the rest of us supposed to take you seriously? Like, honestly, anybody who supports getting jailed, somebody going to jail for burning a flag, you're literally just a snowflake. Like, and every time I talk to people about this specific discussion, they have nothing to say. They cannot have any legit argument other than, oh, well, it's disrespectful and it's anti-American. No, what's anti-American is banning speech that isn't yours. And I know for a fact not all conservatives agree with this. Thank God. I know all of them don't, but there is a handful amount that are just straight up authoritarians. They have no concept of liberty whatsoever. They brag about the flag, they brag about freedom. They don't know how freedom works, because if you did, you wouldn't want to ban somebody from burning some cloth because it hurts your feelings. That's insane, man. People need to be consistent. People, if you're going to be for liberty, you have to be for liberty all the way, not only the liberties that you like. That's insane. This man talks about being all about law and order. I swear to you, I'm pretty sure, I would bet my money, he has never read the Constitution a day in his life. He has no concept of law and order. All the people who's cheering for him have no idea what law and order is. He just gassed a peaceful protest like 2 weeks ago so we can take a photo op with a Bible. Talk about narcissism and arrogancy. I don't know. He's a joke, man. He's a clown. Has no idea what the hell he's talking about. Like, honestly, what's the difference between him and Joseph Biden at this point? Because the way I see it, like, I don't even care who becomes president at this point, man, because all these people, they're just straight up authoritarians, man. They don't give a damn. They're literally the same. They're different spectrums of the same. They're different wings of the same bird. That's basically what all of this is. And I just think it's sad that even the First Amendment is being debated here. No, Mr. Trump. We shouldn't be putting people in jail for burning a flag. We should be putting you in jail.